Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel here at My Table of Three. My name is Carrie, and today we are going to do a little bit of freezer prep. I need to get a few breakfast sandwiches in the freezer, and I thought today would be a great time to film it because actually over at CNC Farms is hosting an open collaboration for freezer meals. Since March is frozen food month, what better way to celebrate than to showing you lots of videos from people putting food in their freezer. So just homemade frozen food, right? What can be better than that? So I have done a lot of freezer cooking here on my channel. I'll link a few of those videos below as far as freezer meal goes. I have a few on my blog as well, and I'll put the list to those on the blog. I think there is a low-carb freezer burrito that I have on there with the freezer instructions, so be sure and check those links out after you watch these videos. Also, check out Ashley's channel. I have that in the description below. And check out the hashtag FreezerMeals23. And you can find all the videos under this collaboration. And again, it's an open collaboration, which means you are welcome to join us again. So if you do freezer meals and you like to record it and host it, just use the hashtag FreezerMeals23 and tag Ashley at CNC Farms, and you're set to go. So I'd love to see your ideas too, and I hope this easy breakfast freezer prep is helpful to you as well. So let's jump in and show you how I make those freezer meals. Okay, so I am frying the eggs for the breakfast sandwiches. You know, they're round English muffins, so I am just using a biscuit cutter mold that come in this Pioneer Woman set. I measured it to see which one was closest to the size of the muffins, and this one won. So I just greased my pan a little bit. I put the biscuit cutter in there, and then I just crack my egg into it, and it's going to be perfectly round eggs like that to fit. Now, you don't have to do this step, but I just think it fits better on the English muffin, but you could definitely just fry or even scramble your eggs. So there's a look at how I'm doing the eggs. Okay, my next step is I have some venison or deer sausage here that was processed and given to us by a neighbor. He likes to hunt, and we were very grateful that we got this sausage. So it's just flavored like breakfast sausage, but the protein is deer or venison. Now you could use turkey sausage, you could use pork sausage, any kind of sausage that you like. You could even buy the pre-made patties that would fit well on your English muffins as well. I just didn't want to spend that extra money when I have this in the freezer, so that's what we're using. I also could have saved a little bit of time by getting a bigger skillet out, but I've already got a mess from frying the eggs, and I didn't want to dirty a different skillet. So I am just going to brown them up in here, and then probably finish them off in the oven, and then we'll come back when we're ready to assemble the sandwiches. Alright, this is super simple. I do wrap mine in parchment and a foil just to keep it protected well. And so I'm just going to lay down an English muffin. And yes, typically we would use cheese on these, but I am out of cheese right now, and I didn't want to buy any. So we'll add it before we heat it up. So I'm just going to add one of the round eggs, you can see, and one of the sausage patties. And you see how well they fit because we measured the egg. Like I said, you don't have to do that. And then we're just going to top it like that. And wrap them up. And set them aside. And we'll just keep on putting these together. These are really simple. My son is really going to like these. I have a 14-year-old that really likes like breakfast sandwiches and stuff like this. I do make a lot of egg burritos for the freezer. If you haven't already seen those videos, I'll link to some of them below, because I do have several videos about freezer meals that you may want to go back and watch after you finish watching all the videos in the collab. So I'll link those below in the description. Go ahead and get this pulled out. I should have done this ahead of time. Also, remember when I was cooking the eggs and the sausage, if you didn't want to do individual like I did, and if I was doing a bunch, I would not do it that way either. I would do the sheet pan method and just cut them in squares to fit. So you can totally do that, especially if you're making a lot. Today I'm only making these 6 because that's all the English muffins I had. So I'm just doing the round eggs, but I would totally do the sheet pan method had I been making a ton of these for Nate in the freezer. So gonna finish making these really quick. And these are really big sausage patties. They are big. I want these to be hearty because, like I said, he is a growing teen, and so I want him to get a very well balanced basically really protein packed breakfast, and this will really fill him up. So especially on those mornings we have to grab it and run out of the house for disc golf or robotics or something like that. So this is really hearty and much cheaper than doing this at McDonald's if you were to stop and grab that. I mean, that's a pretty hearty sandwich, right? And he'll probably add cheese to it before we heat it up. And I'm going to tell you how we heat these up in just a moment, after we're done and I come back. So that, we got one more to go here, and then I'll show you how I put those in the freezer. If you put these in the microwave, you would definitely want to take them out of the aluminum foil. We don't use a microwave. I use my oven to reheat my breakfast burritos and these sandwiches. So I just leave them like this when I get ready to reheat them. So now we're going to put them in our bag. If you needed to, you could put cooking instructions on the bag that I tell you in a few minutes. But since I know how to do them, I'm not going to bother doing that. I may actually have to put... Alright, and I'll have to put the other two in a different bag, but there you have it. And these are just going to go in my deep freeze, and they will be in there for him to grab and throw into the oven to preheat. Basically, I would probably, well, you know what, let me finish putting these two in a bag, and I'll come back and talk to you. Alright guys, so that is it. That is how I make my sausage, egg, and normally cheese when I have it. English muffin sandwiches, they are in the freezer. They are going to freeze and be in there for when we need to grab them out for my son before we run out the door. A couple of ways you can reheat those. If you do use a microwave, you need to remove them from the foil. Just wrap them in a paper towel and you will microwave them for about 1.5 to 2 minutes. I do recommend that you thaw them. So pull them out the day before, or pull out a bag of those maybe at the beginning of the week, and they'll last all week in your refrigerator. And then once they're thawed, 1.5 to 2 minutes here, you could even, honestly, I would probably separate the sausage and the cheese if you're going to, and microwave it, and then do the bread separate. But you don't have to. You can definitely wrap it up in a paper towel once it's thawed, 1.5 to 2 minutes in there, and it'll be perfect. Just don't overcook it or your bread will be tough. If you don't use a microwave, like say yours is broke like mine, and you use the oven, just keep it wrapped up in the foil, in the parchment paper. Put it in there at 350 degrees, and once it's thawed, I recommend always thawing them. I guess you don't have to. It just takes a lot longer to heat them up, and then it's not as fast. So if you don't thaw them, 350 in the oven, probably about 45 minutes to an hour. 45 minutes probably. If you have thawed them, keep them in the wrappings, 350 for 30 minutes, and it'll be hot and nice. So like I said, we were out of cheese. We'll just add cheese. I also wanted to show you a few things that I like to have on hand for freezer mealing prep. It does not have to be hard. One thing, you need a really good Sharpie or a permanent marker to write on your bags. Always remember to write the name of your food, and if you want to, cooking instructions on the front of the bag before you fill it, because that will make it a lot easier to write on it. Once you get it filled, you can still do it, but it's a little bit more tedious. Also, a couple of my favorite things are these bag holders for when I do like dump and go freezer meals. These are really super handy to have. You just kind of hook your bags on each side and they go up and down, and this will hold your bag open so you can use both hands to fill it. So I have a couple of those. I just get these off Amazon. I'll link them below in the description through my affiliate store. If you want to just learn more about them, you can take a look there. Also, you need some really good freezer bags. I keep quart and gallon size on hand at all times. You want them to be thicker and have a nice closure so you don't have any leaks. No extra, get all the air out of them, and that way with a really thick bag and also wrapping them, you will have a better chance at not getting any freezer burn. Also, saran wrap is a good one to have. I love these that come in the box, refillable box. They have the slider. You can have, of course, parchment paper, aluminum foil. You saw me use those earlier. Those are great tools to have. If you're going to do freezer meals, these would be the basic. I would say you don't have to have these, okay? You don't have to. They'll just make your life easier if you're using bags. What else? Oh, you can have those throwaway, toss away pans. A lot of times I use those, but you can absolutely freezer meals in your glass baking dishes. I just recommend letting them thaw, and don't put them frozen into a hot oven because it may break. But those are the basics of what I'd like to have on hand as far as freezer meals. I hope this little video and the ones that I link below inspire you to get in the kitchen and cook some freezer meals. You will definitely thank me for it later. Trust me, they are a lifesaver. So until the next video, guys, I'll see you later.